Hello, test. Hi, everyone. I'm so excited for this training on impact because impact is one of my most favorite things in the whole world. Now, if you want to comment and interact, you can tell me who's your nonprofit, where are you joining from, and you may need to do that actually on YouTube. So if you're watching on the website, you can click and view on YouTube, and then you can use the chat function. I'm excited to get started today because today we are going to talk about impact. All right, let's dive in. So you are at your Ultimate Impact live training. I'm excited to see you guys here, and I'm really excited that you guys are thinking about demonstrating your impact because so many nonprofits wait way too long before they're actually thinking about demonstrating their impact. And usually they get to the end of a year or they need an impact report or something, and then they go, okay, how do we pile all the data together to get that impact? So we're going to talk about Ultimate Impact today and make this a lot more simplified, less complex for you so that you can feel confident in doing it. All right, so my promise today for you is I'm going to show you how to prove to stakeholders that you actually do what your mission says, making them want to buy into that mission of yours even more, and how you can get clear and track the outcomes that you actually want to have so you can get clear and understand what impact you want to make, and then how do you track those outcomes without hiring an evaluation expert and without doing just one more thing. I'm going to talk about the counterintuitive way to change your life as an executive director so that you can do less, but be more impactful. I'm going to talk about the 3 biggest mistakes that I made that led me to discovering how to demonstrate impact in a way that funders actually care about. And I'm going to talk to you about how you can stop wearing all the hats without dropping all of the balls. So what we're going to learn is a few secrets, right? Everybody loves secrets. The first secret is the essential first step to demonstrating impact that most nonprofits miss. How to focus on mission critical activities and forget the rest, and how to build a reputable and trustworthy brand for stakeholders to buy into. Does this sound like you? Do you dream of having funders get that impact that you're making, but nobody seems to understand the magic that you offer? Do you want to spend more time serving without constantly dealing with all the administrative tasks? Are you tired of feeling underpaid and overwhelmed while other executive directors have full salaries and teams of support? Do you ever feel like you can't compete with bigger organizations that seem to have everything buttoned up? Do you struggle to demonstrate the impact of your programs, even though you know firsthand that beautiful, amazing transformation that you're offering? Well, listen, you want to know the truth? It's not your fault that you ended up here. Most nonprofits go through this, if not all. And the real problem, it's the nonprofit industry. It makes you feel like you need all the things when impact is really all that matters. That's what sets you apart from others. But what we end up doing is we try to scramble and we try to chase after the bigger nonprofits and what they're doing. And we see what other people are doing and, oh, they seem to be getting funding, so I'm going to try what they're doing. Rather than standing in our knowing of this, I know is impactful. This is my unique program. I know that it transforms lives, and I'm going to stick to this and what I know. But we spend so much time chasing. And the truth is, those other nonprofits, those big nonprofits, they don't know how to demonstrate their impact either. So that's why we have these like long, flowery reports and these strategic plans that look intimidating. They're like 30 pages long, and they seem really academic and they seem really smart, and you read through them all and you're like, oh, I don't even know if we could write something like this, or it really does seem like they're making a lot of impact. They have this beautiful report, but they just came up with all that flowery stuff because they didn't know how to demonstrate their impact either, okay? So don't be nervous about what the other big nonprofits are putting out there. But first, I do want to talk to you about why you should listen to me. You've got to know that your sources are credible. I have been exactly where you are, and I know exactly how you feel. I had a calling to involve the community in the foster care crisis, but I struggled with working my tail off and not getting people to care enough to fund it. This is me sitting in a hayloft at one of our locations. Honestly, it was a foster care program that matched up horses and mentors, but feeding horses is expensive, and I was doing all the chores and doing all the work, and as cool as it was, I wasn't getting paid, and I just felt like I couldn't show other people the magic that was happening there. And I struggled so much with that nonprofit that in that location that I shut it down. I noticed everybody else had plans for how I should operate. Everybody said, this is what you should do, this, all those shoulds, right? And I was running it, trying to do my best, trying to do all the things that nonprofit people should know how to do. But I wasn't running a sustainable organization, and that wasn't okay for the kids that I was serving. It wasn't fair to them. So I did shut it down. I got super focused. I got super focused on the impact that I wanted to make. I trusted my knowing on how I was going to get there because this was my vision. This was my calling. I stopped serving so many, and I was able to scale my locations. And now we've scaled internationally, and we've got locations all over. But what I realized was my locations were like, great, Rebecca, this is a program that we get to implement, and this is beautifully packaged. There's just one problem. We don't know how to run a nonprofit. We don't know how to demonstrate our impact. Like, they were having more issues just with running the nonprofit and demonstrating their impact. And so they weren't really being able to be successful at implementing my program because they had nonprofit problems. Okay. So I realized everyone Everyone was killing themselves to make impact, but they couldn't effectively demonstrate it. And I just felt like that was so sad because I know firsthand the amazing magic that happens when you're right there on the ground in your communities. So I did everything that I could think of to answer this impact question. I was like, okay, I'm a leader. I need to show my locations how they demonstrate impact. I need to figure this out. So I went and I got my master's in program evaluation. I got my professional certificate in results-based accountability, and I started doing strategic planning for all these nonprofits, a lot of national nonprofits, a lot of small nonprofits, all over the board. And you know what I found? Most nonprofits want to demonstrate their impact before they even get clear on exactly what impact they're trying to make. They would hire me in to demonstrate impact, and when we would get to the bottom of it, they were like, oh, well, we didn't really come up with a purpose statement. We didn't come up with outcomes that we were shooting towards. And that's where you need to start. Okay? It isn't difficult. It's intentional. So now I help nonprofits start with the impact they want to make, start with that purpose, and then they develop literally everything that they do around that. So I want to go into my 3 biggest secrets, which is exactly why I'm going to show you how to achieve ultimate impact without killing yourself. So are you ready? Type "I'm ready" in the comments if you're ready. Ooh, I see people from Denver, Syracuse, Massachusetts. Awesome. Okay. Secret number 1. The essential first step to demonstrating impact that most nonprofits miss. So the first mistake that I made was starting with the what and not the why. I knew what I wanted to do, so I jumped right into doing it, and I did it so much that I thought it was obvious why we were doing it, but I never fully fleshed out the greater purpose and the intended outcomes. I was really super busy doing meaningful things, but I had no real plan. And when people would stop me and say like, oh, Rebecca, what are you doing? What's your plan? Which I would literally be in the middle of serving humans. And I'd feel frustrated because I was like, can't you see we're doing good work here? Isn't that enough? So the lesson I learned out of all of that is without clearly articulating a plan that stated not only what I was trying to do, but for who and why, I couldn't succinctly sell my greater vision to the world. I knew what I was doing, but it is our responsibility to get what we're doing out into the world. And it was really a disservice to my kids to stay so caught up in the sessions with them and not be articulating the power of the program to supporters. So takeaway for you, number 1, is step back and get super clear. If your programs and services are delivered, what desired result happens for that population you serve? Why does it matter? What are the long-term implications if you're successful? So if everybody that could possibly go through your program or meet your nonprofit, if everybody that could went through it, what would the world look like? Okay, this is your why. Revise your mission statement to reflect this and make sure that your board is on board. Like I remember feeling like I knew what I was doing, but not even my board. Some of the people closest to me didn't truly get the essence of what we were trying to do and the impact that we were trying to make. This is Kate from the National Accreta Foundation. She joined and did the impact roadmap process with us. And before, she said, we were all working really hard and had a deep personal connection to the cause, but we didn't understand nonprofit strategy. After she worked with us, Rebecca make strategic planning much more straightforward with her impact roadmap. Her humor and compassion are added bonus. Now we know what we are headed for, how we'll get there, and how to actually articulate it. All right, secret number 2 is how to focus on mission critical activities and forget the rest. So my second mistake was saying yes to everything. Thinking that I should do what everyone told me to do, thinking that I should know more or that people knew better than me, thinking that working for a nonprofit was to sacrifice myself completely. listening to all the you shoulds. How many times a day do people say to you, you should really start a fundraiser down here. You should start a program for this population. You should. It's like, that's nice. But when you feel like you should do that, then you start chasing those balls, right? And you get out of the zone of your knowing of what you came to impact in this world. And I also thought more was better. So, okay, if we serve 10 kids this year, we got to serve 15 kids next year. If we serve 15 kids this year, we got to serve 25. And if we don't serve more kids, then it means that we are doing less, or we're not doing enough, or we're not scaling, we're not growing. For some reason, more was better and less or the same amount wasn't good. So what I realized was the kids that I'm serving deserve a leader that is focused on sustainability and optimal outcomes for each individual. And I'm literally failing them if I don't steer this ship. Me running around in the spirit of service, trying to do all of the things, saying like, well, I'm trying really, really, really hard, was actually me kind of being a little bit of a coward, because I was afraid of stepping up into that leadership role where I would say no, and I would really steer the ship and make sure that I was giving quality services. So my lesson was, to get the outcomes that I wanted, I needed to stay true to what I knew would work. And this meant saying no to some to ensure that I was giving quality services and making the impact I intended to make. If we do more and more and more, then sometimes, if we don't have the infrastructure and the systems and the processes to support it, sometimes the quality of the interaction, the quality of the services, the quality of the programs start to break down. So that number of more and more and more is not a good determination of your true impact. So your second takeaway is, once you have your purpose clearly developed, decide the key activities to achieve that purpose and protect it like your mission depends on it, because it does. And then you get to also remove any activities that aren't directly related to your mission. So as you're figuring out that overarching purpose, okay, what are the outcomes that we really want to make? Once you're clear on those, what are the activities that are going to get us there? And no other noise can come in and knock you off that, because you're laser focused to make that impact. That's what you started this thing for. It's the reason you exist. This is Joy from 2020 Mom. Before, we had been looking for a strategic partner for years. We found Rebecca after spending 9 months in a strategic vision program developed by a well-known nonprofit consulting firm. That foundation was helpful, but we were stuck with the then what. And after, Rebecca's program helped us develop our systems and processes, improve our culture, and transform how we work. All right. Secret number 3, how to create a movement and draw those connected to your cause like a magnet. So the third mistake that I made was not tracking or communicating my impact. I could talk all day long about what we did, but I wasn't tracking clear outcome metrics that would prove that we were making big change in the lives of those we served. As a nonprofit leader, it is your job to evaluate the impact that you're having and communicate exactly how that difference has had a positive effect on society. So if you're a program, let's say that you offer education where kids that are aged out of foster care youth get GEDs. Well, to say, oh, we have 10 kids go through our program each cohort, or we have 25 kids go through our program, that's great. But you've got to be tracking that. What does that mean? How many of them are going on to higher education? How many of them are getting jobs? What percentage? And you've got to have the systems and processes to be able to collect that data. But that's the real story. And then even going a step further and making the claim of, what does that mean if you are helping kids get jobs, get higher education, make healthy choices in their lives? You're helping fix generational trauma really at that point. So understanding the big why. Now their kids aren't going into foster care because they're economically healthy. Okay, so having that's what we call a theory of change, but having that idea in your head of, what do the moments in our program, the small transformations that happen here, what does that mean for greater society? And you understanding that really well, and then communicating it constantly out to your audiences. So lesson number 3 was, why would anyone fund you if you haven't given them a bigger purpose to buy into? You have a responsibility to be accountable to your mission. You can't just take money. You've got to prove that you did what you said you would do. And that's what builds trust in a movement. And when you're communicating back out, this is what we did with your money. This is what we did this year. Look, this is the impact we're making. And you're sharing case studies and you're sharing that out. People go, wow, they really do good work there. They put their money where their mouth is. So your takeaway 3 is you need to not only be super clear on the so what, like why does any of it matter, but you have to have clear metrics that track how much, how well, and is anybody better off because you exist. Then you actually have to track those and report those metrics out to make supporting your cause a no-brainer. This is Holly from Grace Lake Ministries. Before, we had a strategic plan, but it didn't state a specific purpose, and we didn't know what metrics to track or how to track those metrics to really demonstrate impact. And after, Rebecca's impact roadmap got us focused and included metrics to provide proof to stakeholders that we are doing what we say we are doing. We were able to collect the data and share it with the supporters for the first time in 10 years. It's huge. Okay, so the takeaways, a little recap of what we've covered so far, is that you need to step back, get clear on the impact that you're trying to make. What's your desired result? Then you need to determine activities that are essential to achieving that desired result. And you need to protect those activities. And that means saying a lot of no's. But it's because your reason you exist is to say yes to your mission, right? And then takeaway 3 is to track and report out your impact, not just how much, but is anybody better off? So let me ask you a question. Are you ready for your next chapter? Are you ready to get clear and get focused and make huge impact and stop wearing all the hats and just put the hat on that matters, the one that's focused, this leadership hat that's going to be focused on impact? But maybe you're not sure if you can make it happen on your own. I totally get it, which is why I created something for you. Now, it's not for you if you're not interested in demonstrating impact. You're okay with doing it all and not getting paid. You have plenty of money to hire a strategic planner, or you're simply not ready to step up into the leadership role that your mission needs. But it's perfect for you if you're done wearing all the hats. You know you make big impact. You just need guidance on how to demonstrate it. You're ready to get focused on the things that matter. You want to grow your team and budget, and you don't have enough money to hire an expensive strategic planner. Would it be okay if I shared it with you? Okay. I am introducing today my Impact Roadmap online course, which I have been doing these impact roadmaps for nonprofits. This is my framework for strategic planning reinvented because I wanted it to be simplified. I hated getting hired to do these long, drawn-out strategic plans with all this flowery language that nobody used. They just put it on a shelf. And they like checked a box. Oh, we need to have a strategic plan. Okay, let's spend all this money on a consultant and spend all this time wordsmithing and figuring out how to tell people what we're going to do. And then let's not do it because we just did it to make a plan. That, I couldn't handle that. So I was always the employee, the person that sat back and said, why are we doing this? What's the purpose? Why are we here today? What's this meeting for? Okay. And so that's why I developed this framework that gets us really super clear on our purpose and then gives us a very specific roadmap on exactly how to get there. My vision for you and really any nonprofit founder is I believe nonprofit founders were brave enough to step out in faith on a calling to serve this world, and they deserve to feel focused, compensated, impactful, and not underpaid, overwhelmed, and exhausted. And unfortunately, underpaid, overwhelmed, and exhausted seems to just be synonymous with executive director in this industry, and I aim to change that. And honestly, it's simple. It's not more work. You just need to trust your amazing vision. Like, you have a vision. You know, you stepped out to do this. You know how to fix this problem. You know how to show up and be the solution. You just need to get a plan that's focused on the impact that you know that you were made for. So let's talk about what you get in the impact roadmap. So the module 1 focuses on strategic planning simplified. We're going to get you super confident in strategic planning and how we can simplify it, get rid of all of that fluff and get down to all the tactical things that matter: purpose, metrics, impact. Then we go into mission, vision, values. Then we have a module on your vehicles for change, which are your vehicles for how you get to your mission. We talk about how to break down each vehicle, which is your key performance indicators and those activities, and a purpose statement for each. We talk about your what sets you apart statement. You need to be different from other orgs, okay? And then we focus on operations, because we do still need to get funding and marketing and all of those things that are not directly programmatic. All of this focuses on what's your greater purpose and how does everything you do lead to that. And if you're not clear on this stuff, I promise you nobody else will be. So let's talk about the framework a little bit. So the impact roadmap, why a simplified strategic plan is exactly what you need. We're going to break down how it's simplified and how you can kind of articulate that to people, how you can feel confident that this impact roadmap is the new strategic plan. Then we talk about your mission, vision, and values. We set a mission and vision that's focused on results and impact. And you might say right now, Rebecca, we have a mission and a vision and we feel pretty good about it and we love our mission. I'm telling you, 99% of the nonprofits I work with change their mission. It doesn't mean that they change it completely, but they change it to be a desired result, that it's outcomes based, okay? Then we focus on your vehicles for change. What are your focus areas? What focus areas are most impactful to make you achieve that mission? Then once we have your vehicles, usually you get like 3. These can be like support, education, research, okay? Once we get those laid out, then for each one of those, we define a purpose statement for that vehicle, success metrics for that vehicle, key activities to achieve those success metrics, and we have a blurb statement of why should anybody care? Why does it matter? And that's what I'm talking about with the like, why does education or support or research, why does it matter for your specific population or whatever you're doing? What's the bigger impact that you're going to have on society? That's why people should care. Then we talk about what sets you apart. Why would someone support you over another org? And then we do the same thing for operations. So we make your purpose for operations. You might be at a time where you're focusing on just getting started. You might be at a time when you're focusing on sustainability. You might be at a time when you're focused on scaling. So your purpose statement is going to change. Your success metrics and your key activities for operations will also line up with that purpose. But you've got to be really clear on that, because as an executive director, you do need to have a percentage of your time going towards operations strategy, getting grants, getting funding, so that you can be sustainable and that you never need to tell the people you serve, sorry, I let that go and we're shutting down now. Okay, so do you want to know what you'll receive when you enroll? Let's talk about it. So there's training videos, there's 10 training videos, there's self-paced videos that help you get to the heart of what you're offering, for who and why. I walk you through all of it. You can pause it, do the homework, and we go through it together. We have a workbook. Now, this might not seem fancy, but I'm actually all about Google Docs and working docs, because I like to just pop something over and open and start getting messy. I like less talk, more action. Let's start building this out now. Also love Google Docs because you're going to want your impact or your input from your board and from possibly volunteers that you have, other strategic partners. You might want to say, like, does this purpose statement sound good? Does this why it matters sound good to you? So you can easily share and get comments and have everybody working in the doc at the same time. Then this is probably what people like the most. You get the Canva template. This is a 37-page template that you can have a nice external document to show your stakeholders. This is our impact roadmap. These are our vehicles for change. This is why it matters. This is where we're headed. And oh, by the way, these are the metrics we're tracking so that you will know by the end of the year how impactful we were. So these are just like some done options of the impact roadmaps, what some clients have built. So they just have a clear, nice, fresh approach. Much better than those long drawn out strategic plans that are not straight down to the action. You also get a certificate of completion. This isn't just continued education. This is you really showing stakeholders that you're committed to impact and that you're a leader that cares about outcomes and leadership. And I'm also throwing in a bonus of utilization training because, like I said, it kills me if somebody makes a plan and then doesn't utilize it or it sits on the shelf like it was for nothing. So we talk in this utilization training about accountability, like how you can use it to hold yourself accountable, right? Saying no to things that are not directly related to your mission. We talk about building your systems and processes around those key activities, making things automated so things get easier for you. We talk about using the impact roadmap for your communications tool. Once you have your overarching purpose and you have your vehicles for change and you have exactly where you're headed in your key activities, that's the story you tell in all of your communications over and over and over. People will understand the heart of who you are because you have it so well articulated. And you're going to use it in fundraising too. All of these vehicles are new funding opportunities for people. Bonus number 2, I am super excited about. This is only available to those who sign up before July 4th because I can't give this out to everyone, but you're going to get 1 hour of consultation with me, and you can use this hour to either go through your mission vision vehicles so that you can feel really good that you're setting this off straight. I know sometimes people don't buy courses because they're like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I'll stay accountable. So this is your way to like kick this off with me if you want to. We can also use that to build out a funding one-pager. Maybe you're just wanting to get a funding one-pager done and get that out there into the world and start having conversations about that funding opportunity so we can do that. Or maybe you're like having this completely other issue and you just want to talk about your biggest pain point right now and you want some strategic advice on it. We could talk about that too. But you get 1 hour of consultation with me if you enroll. In a word or two, what is the gift you give this world? And if you want to drop it in the chat, you can. But this could be like restoring dignity, or it could be just hope, or it could be education, okay? But you know that these things really matter. You know, these are the things that you give in the moments of your services. I want you to know that I believe this so strongly, and I know the people that are on here that are from my Stable Moments program know this, but I believe that you are such a big deal, and I need you to believe that you are such a big deal, because these moments that you're giving people, these transformation, this hope, this education that you're giving people, we all know the power of one person. We know if we can get into one person's life and change it for the better, that it can have this huge ripple effect, right? And you are one person and you've stepped up to lead an organization, and now you can have even bigger impact, right? I started one little program in one little area, and now I've stopped, and now we serve kids internationally with this one program model. We are big deals. And if you believe that the people that you serve are big deals, like if you think the kids you serve, that they matter and that they should believe they matter and that they have self-worth and that they're a big deal. And if you believe that the mentors you have or the volunteers you have, if you want them to believe that they're a big deal and you want them to be confident and then to step up into their role, then you have to believe that you are a big deal. And I will get off my soapbox, but I really feel like, listen, I've seen what's going on in the government. I think it's a scary place. Okay. So I really believe that the change that we're going to see in this world that it so needs in so many areas is going to be the grassroots efforts of founders that either have personal experience with it or they just have this calling and this vision. So it's you, and what you believe is possible for others, you have to believe is possible for you, because you can't give it if you don't have it. Okay, so let me ask you a question. In a year from now, what will your life look like? Are you going to be stressed and complaining and killing yourself and understaffed and doing all the things and putting out fires and figuring it all out alone? Or are you going to be clear and focused, working for your sweet spot, confident when talking to funders, have an impact roadmap, have an impact report, which is the sister document to that. So you can say, here's our impact roadmap. Oh, a year later, here's our impact report. It shows that we did exactly what we said we were going to do. And are you going to prove that you're mission accountable, that you're accountable to your mission, you're trustworthy? People just go, this is obviously a winning team. And there's no explaining or proving why they should trust you with their money or their kids or their heart or whatever. Okay, so enrollment for this is now open. You can visit forpurposelive.com/impact to get started. And I want to talk to you real quick about Miranda. So Miranda is the executive director of AFE Foundation, which is a pregnancy complication, a fatal, very often fatal pregnancy complication that she survived from, thankfully. But she was working so hard, and she is working so hard. She is amazing, and she has gotten so much done for her mission. But she has to do trainings to like doctors nationally, and she's really trying to keep up in a big world of nonprofits that are working for maternal health, which she has such a rare condition that she's kind of a small fish in a very large pond. So she was like really looking up to these nonprofits and feeling like, how do I get the status that they get? How do I get the grants that they get? So she came, we worked together. She writes, Rebecca's impact roadmap framework got us focused and positioned to make big impact. We updated our mission, and once we understood the goals of each of our vehicles, we were able to determine which activities would help us achieve those goals most effectively and efficiently. With this clarity, we were able to apply for and win our largest grant to date to fund our mission. Rebecca's framework is simple and empowering. It sits on my desk and is referenced daily. I have never been more confident in our ability to achieve our mission. And this is a cute selfie she sent me of the sunrise. She sent me these earrings. Thanks for always helping me raise the bar when she is like out there raising the bar for so many people in her community. And this is even half of the grant she got. She got the first half first, $100,000 there. So I love me some Miranda. All right. One more time. Here's everything you get. You get that Google Doc working doc. You get 10 video lessons where I walk you through exactly how to develop this thing. Then we get the 37-page Canva impact roadmap template. And don't be like, I thought you said this thing wasn't 37 pages. It's just template. So you get to choose like how you want your page to look. We don't want everybody going through this course to have the same looking impact roadmap. So there's like 15 different title pages, okay? You also get that bonus utilization training, and you get a bonus 1-hour consultation with me. And you're finally getting focused on what matters, and you're able to impact more, and you're able to do less because you're getting focused on mission critical activities. Okay, I'm going to answer the questions in the chat in 1 second. So I'm so excited to give this to you guys today. You don't need to hire an expensive consultant. And honestly, when I was doing strategic plans for people, I was charging them $10,000. And then when I started doing impact roadmaps for people, I was charging $5,000 to get in and do this with them. And one, I was realizing those prices weren't accessible for all the nonprofits that I care so much about, these grassroots, these founders. And I actually don't even believe in doing these strategic plans for you. I believe that you need to do your plan. You're the one with the heart. You're the one with the vision. You're the one with the calling. You know your population better than I know your population. Yeah, you might need a little bit of guidance, but I feel like the day that I watch a founder figure out their strategic plan, set their direction, understand how to track that data, they are so confident in their mission. It means so much more than if you hire a consultant to do this for you and then you still feel like you need consultants to make big impact. And that's just not aligned. I just don't think that's true, because with me, every time I've learned a new skill, I've gotten the confidence, and now, I know what our strategic plan says. Oh, and I know we follow it. I wrote it. Thank you. Okay, so normally this is $9.97, but today it's only $3.97 for you guys, and it's risk-free. You can get in there, consume it. If you don't like it, no questions asked. I'll refund your money within 7 days. The money is really just there so that I know that you're ready to show up. It's an investment in your mission, all right? But I'm really just excited to set you guys on this path, okay? And have you guys feel the confidence of getting clear, getting focused, and being impactful. And if you sign up today, this is just for you guys. If you sign up today, I'm going to throw in my 5-day grant mastery course, which is a comprehensive course to walk you through all the steps of developing a stellar funding proposal. So once you're done with your impact roadmap, you'll have all these ideas about how to get yourself funded. And you can go through this 5-day grant mastery course again, become the person that's like, no, I get funding myself. I do this myself. I know how to write great funding reports. And the reason why it's great for you to write funding proposals yourself and you to do grants yourself is because then you're like, oh, I know what I'm going to execute on for this funder. Somebody didn't just write it for me, and now I need to read the funding proposal to see, what am I supposed to be doing for this money again? I'm going to show you 2 secret weapons to use as supplemental documents to put you ahead of the competition. There's completely editable templates. In this course, I show you how to leverage AI for the pieces of your funding proposal that you can. And I give you examples that you can copy and paste, and there's a certificate of completion. This course is easily worth $997, but I only charge $97 for it because I want you guys to get that money and get some quick wins. Today, it's yours free if you enroll and when you enroll. All right. Let's go through some of these questions. If you have questions on YouTube, you can ask them, and I'm here for you. Okay. Is the Canva template customizable to our brand? Yes, of course. And there's a whole video tutorial that will show you how to do it. So show you how to use Canva. Hopefully you kind of know how to use Canva. You do need a Canva account, but we show you how to change out the fonts, how to change out the colors, how to change out the pictures. Of course, definitely. How often do you put up the online trainings? What's the pace and timeline? It's ready. It's done. You can go in there and binge it today, get it done today, and have an impact roadmap ready. They are all up and ready for you. It's a course that's self-paced. I see, how much is the grant course normally? It's $97. So throwing that in there today. Any other questions, you guys? You've got me here. You can ask me. It doesn't even need to be about the course. It can just be about impact. Anything else? At the very least, I just hope that you guys feel like you do not need to be, I just never want anybody to feel less than, or maybe I'm not good enough, or maybe I'm not smart enough, or this is really hard, although it can be really hard. But don't think anybody else knows it any better than you, because you just got to get in there. Yes, there's people that might know it and you can learn from, but it's not like, oh, I'll just do all these little things and I'll let other people, when they come along, do the big things. No, you can do the big things, and then you feel great about doing the big things. And then you're like a person that does the big things. It just takes you one time to do the big thing, and then you're a person that does the big things. Okay? You're a big deal. Okay. Not seeing any more questions, so I'm going to let you guys have some time back. And I at least get on our mailing list and make sure that you're getting our updates. I do weekly YouTubes. So always giving out some free advice on our homepage. We've got freebies that you can opt in. I'm trying to always give free stuff out to help people. Thank you, Lisa. Thanks, Maggie. Thanks, Claudia. All right. Talk to you guys later.